Hey, Shalom Akim, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Kwakadash, the honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Stone. Well, the spirit of Nash DC Camp, short lesson to edify the hopeful elect. Yep, so, he's just losing control of his society, man. He is losing control, alright? By these things taking place, it just proves that he's losing his grip, alright? And this is just a sign of things to come. Alright, so you see on the screen it says protesters topple statue of slave trader Edward Colston. Yeah, same thing's also happened over here in the United States, man. They're talking about all these Confederate statues gotta go down wherever they are, whether it's in Richmond, Virginia, or whether it's in Texas, whether it's in Alabama, Mississippi. It's all coming down. That's what the people are pushing for. But for the man of the Lord, it's spiritual, right? Because the people are pushing hard. Even Christopher Columbus statue also went down, all right? The first, when you see that, the Operation Iraqi Freedom, when you see the pulling down of Saddam Hussein's statue, that's something else gotta come, man. Something bigger is taking place than I realize. This is all what's about. He's just trying to cover up his tracks, but it's not gonna happen that way. So by him doing that, about him allowing these things to happen, it proves that the Lord is in control, man. That's what also they could, that's the only conclusion that you have to arrive at, that the Lord is in control. And by him trying to, cover up history and all that stuff, to make sure people don't see evidence of his handiwork. And I expecting the people, to just be ignorant when there's no more access to books, no access to what you call it, the internet and all that stuff, the farming of the word. He wants people to forget, forget the past while he maintains power and control over them. All right, so I just scroll up a little bit so you see exactly what they're doing. This is in England. All right, here to take a statue of the so-called slave trader and then dump it into the canal. Yeah, that's how crazy it is, man. But they don't really know that these so-called slave traders were working for these rich elites, right? Whose money has lasted for hundreds and hundreds of years. All right, so it's that simple, man. That a lot of our people, we need to wake up and don't fall for the trap. All right, so it's beautiful that this is taking place, but for the elect, they understand that Esau's on his way out. All right, so this is a book of Isaiah chapter 51. I'm going to read verse 17. It says, Awake, awake, stand up, O Jerusalem, which has drunk at the hand of the Lord Yahweh, Bashem El Bashem Kakadash, the cup of his fury. Yep, so that slavery it's no joke, man. Slavery was a very bitter cup that our people have to drink of. And the Lord Yahweh made sure we drank every bit and last of it. We had it so worse than all the nations upon the earth. Alright? So that's one thing these churches don't like to talk about. How the Lord, punished our people for their iniquities. Alright? So it says, we've drunk from the cup of the Lord's fury. Okay? Thou hast drunken the dredges of the cup of trembling and wrung them out. Alright? And this is exactly what we've experienced even to this day. And those days are coming to an end, man. The days of us drinking of the Lord's, the wine of his fury, Those days are coming to an end, and that's what we've been praying for, that we're able to be delivered from the destruction that's coming. All right, and that's what we're praying for, man. Because this so-called Black Lives Matter is just a smoke screen. But you know how it is, man. The Most High is always gonna turn the counsel of the wise into foolishness. You know, see Esau always setting up traps for Jake. But at the end of the day, man, the Lord are going to overcome. So it says the Edward Colston Company transported more than 100,000 slaves from West Africa to the Caribbean and the Americas between 1672 and 1689, cramming them into ships to maximize profit. Around 20,000 people were killed during the crossings and their bodies were thrown overboard. All right. So when you read more and more and more, you're always going to see the paw prints of the elite in it, man. All right. And then you hear the Bristol's mayor, Marvin Reed, says that as an elected politician, I cannot condone criminal damage. However, as a son of a Jamaican migrant, he couldn't pretend it was anything other than a personal affront to me and people like me. The statue was pushed into the harbor, but Reed said it will likely end up in a museum. So it doesn't matter whether it ends up in a museum or ends up at the bottom of the harbor or the canal. It doesn't change anything. Alright? Babylon is on its way out. The elites know their time is up and they're doing everything to rush, you know, to rush and rush and rush and to oppress the people. Alright? So this Isaiah chapter 51 verse 22, it says, Thus said the Lord Yahweh. Alright? Thus said thy Lord Yahweh, and thy power that pleaded the cause of his people. Right? Because, behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dredges of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again. So that's what we're going to be experiencing very soon, man. Once our captivity in this place is over, that's it. The elites can't change the Lord's program, man. They can't. You know, that's when you're gonna start experiencing, nightmares, heavy nightmares. Once they see that they can no longer touch the elect, once the nation of Israel, and they see the manifestation of the angels, that's it, man. That's it, right? Then verse 23 says, But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee. So, on the nation of Edom, these Hamites, these Moabites, these Ishmaelites, these Japhites, they had a role to play in the captivity of our nations. They're going to be oppressed too. They're going to have to pay for it. And that's what the Lord Abashimasha is talking about. He says, you can't mock the Most High. Whatever you sow, that's what you're going to reap. All right? Then it says in verse 23, it says, But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, Bow down, that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground, and as the street to them that went over. So you see how they used to treat Jake, when Jake was still in hardcore slavery, chattel slavery. It's gonna be their turn too. The Lord's gonna start persecuting these nations. So that's why there's unrest upon the face of the earth. Okay. Another precept is gonna be from the book of Isaiah chapter 10, 24 to 27. It says, Therefore thus said the Lord of hosts, Lord Yahweh Bashim Ashar Bashim Kakadash, that's about what? O my people that dwelleth in Zion, be not afraid of the Assyrian. He shall smite thee with a rod, and shall lift up his staff against thee, after the manner of Egypt. So that's what the Lord had let us know. that we're going to go into captivity. We're going to go to all this, turmoil. We're going to serve other nations. And that's one thing that the prophet always took account of. All right. Then it says, you shouldn't be afraid. Shouldn't be, you shouldn't be nervous because it's just a part of prophecy that has to be fulfilled. For yet a very little while, and the indignation shall cease. For yet a very little while, and indignation shall cease, and mine anger in their destruction. So it was only for a short time, you know. And the Lord of hosts shall stir up a scourge for him according to the slaughter of Midian at the rock of Urub, and his rod up was upon the sea, so shall he lift it up after the manner of Egypt. All right. So deliverance is on its way. And it shall come to pass in that day that his burden shall be taken away from off thy shoulder, and his yoke from off thy neck. And the yoke shall be destroyed because of the anointing. And ever since the Spirit of the Lord's been moving heavily upon Akim, our people waking up, the men, the women, and young children also waking up. It's beautiful, all right? So that means that our captivity is almost over in Babylon, all right? Just gotta wait for the Lord to get us out of here, all right? So this is Isaiah chapter 40. I'm gonna read a few of the verses. It says, comfort ye, my people, said the Most High. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished, all right, that her iniquity is pardoned, for she had received of the Lord's hand double for all her sins. Yep, and that's what we are looking forward to, to be pardoned, to be pardoned, by the Lord, by Shema Shai, so that we will be exempt from the destruction that's coming upon this place. All right, we've been asking for pardon, pardoning, so we can be saved for our enemies. All right, and furthermore, Isaiah chapter 19 says in verse 1 and verse 2. All right, let's stick with verse 1. It says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be removed at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And that's what you're going to be experiencing very soon. That the falling of America, the falling of all the places our people being held captive, the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is going to take those nations apart. It's going to weaken their hands, weaken their resolve. All right? That's what we're looking forward to. All right? So don't be ashamed, man, to declare the gospel. All right? And then just another reminder. I'm going to get Ephesians chapter 5. This should have been the first precept I brought up. Verse 14, it says, wherefore he said, awake, thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Hamashach Yahushai shall give thee light. Right? And that's what we're looking forward to. Alright, and then it says, seeing that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. So, this iniquity that we have to bear was just for a short time, and we're almost out of it. Just got a couple of, evil moments in Babylon that we have to pass through. And that's what we have to let our people know, that we're not out of the woods yet. We're getting out of it, but we're not out of the woods yet. We're still in that dark tunnel. We see that light coming, at the end of it. So you just have to hold on and make it towards the end, and I can get out of it. You're right. So that's the time we're living in, man. It's time to wake up. It's time for hope to take hold of you. All right. And that's what we're looking forward to. You're not down with this protest, man. It's just holding our people back. It's just a system of confusion. It's just another gimmick of the elites to distract our people from focusing on the Lord Yahweh Shai. So our final precept would be from the book of Hosea, chapter 9, verse 7. It says, the days of visitation are come, and the days of recompense are come. Israel shall know it. The prophet is a fool. The spiritual man is mad for the multitude of the iniquity and the great hatred. So that's the point that I can, we live in time of great hatred, But always remember the days of, captivity is almost over. I mean, we're getting out of here very soon. So just pray that, we don't get caught up in this, maze of confusion, thinking that it's just going to let our people go willingly. That's not going to happen. Just like Pharaoh chased after our people, outside these Edomites, man, gonna want to hold on to our people so tightly. Scripture talks about those that held us captive refused to let us go. Yeah, so by the power of the Lord, hope you've been edified and continue to pray that the Lord continue to give that patience, that perseverance to endure. These are days of visitation that are coming upon the face of the earth. To separate the good from the evil. And that's what we're looking forward to. You're going to be criticized, you're going to be ostracized, and you're going to be, attacked. But don't let that shake your faith. So that's the point that I can hope, that you don't take these words lightly. You hold on to it daily. Shalom.